morning, everybody. And today we're on our last day in Europe. We're in Lisbon, Portugal. So come help us climb the hills and find a few pastries today on Traveling with the Doobies.
This morning, just as we were about to step out the door, we got a call from one of the restaurant managers, Clayton, who requested to meet with us in our cabin to discuss our feedback from episode 10 about service issues we'd experienced. Okay, Clayton, but Lisbon is calling. In short, he wanted to apologize and ensure we had a protocol so that the next 12 nights would be much better for us. Clayton was genuine and put in a protocol where he would deliver nightly to Donna Doobie the next night's menu over dessert, and her order would then be available in any venue we wished. He also would make sure that we had a consistent server and server experience whenever we visited the restaurant. This is exactly what we had experienced in other ships in the fleet from day one, but okay, we might be on the right track. A lot of days to go, but really appreciate that personal approach. So this was a planned day of lots of walking and lots of hills. But also, we had a strategy for refueling by trying several different bakeries and that most famous of Portuguese sweet treats, Pasteis de Nata. Time for
Doobie Deathmatch.
We climb up from the port through the Alfama neighborhood to our first stop, Alfama Pastry. We could smell the bakery from over a block away and were greeted inside with a very friendly and bubbly "Good morning!" And I thought, oh man, I've been practicing my bom dia since we left Spain.
Trying our first Pastel de Nata. Crunchy, creamy, a little cinnamon. Oh my gosh. Have anything on my face? Yeah, I don't think so.
Oh, we're off to a good start. I can't imagine we get better than this little shop. Our next target is still in the Alfama neighborhood, which is the oldest neighborhood in Lisbon. We're searching for the oldest street sign in the world, and in Doobie form, we have passed it somehow. Not to worry, we have lots of time today to intentionally lose ourselves in the city. So back down the hill and, oh, we have construction crew working on the building where the sign is embedded. That's how we missed it. Now the translation of this sign is, year 1686, His Majesty orders that coaches, carriages, and litters coming from Ordnance of Salvador retreat to the same part. What did that really mean? Well, road rage was actually a thing, and carts in the narrow streets needed a rule that traffic going down needed to yield to traffic coming up. There were fights and duels. Yeah, kind of like Los Angeles in the 90s. As we circle around the Castelo, I was sure I'd find a shortcut. Now, the high ground of the castle has been a home to fortifications since at least the 8th century. Lisbon, on the other hand, is widely believed to be the second oldest European capital, only to Athens, with a history of Celtic settlements that predated the Phoenician trading post that was set up here along the Tagus River between 8 and 600 BC. Romans held the city until around 500 AD, when a push by the Visigoths reached the Atlantic. And the city was also held by the Moors from 711 to 1147, when Christian crusaders took the city. Sounds familiar to most of the stops we've had, right? The city we see today, though, is mostly from the 18th century and newer. Why? Well, just before 10 a.m. on All Saints' Day, 1755, the city was hit by an enormous earthquake. What the 8+ estimated magnitude quake and following tsunamis didn't destroy, fires sweeping through the city finished. There were accounts of full churches on this holy day collapsing and crushing throngs of worshippers. It's likely the death toll from the initial catastrophe was around 15,000, but there was significant suffering, starvation, and disease that followed. Bodies that didn't burn in the fires were packed onto boats and barges in the harbor and sunk.
Yeah.
This is where in steps Sebastião José de Carvalho e Meio, the principal minister under King Joseph, and much of what we see today is the result of his deliberate planning, standardization of construction materials, and a city plan for the flat lands for wide boulevards and modern plazas. On top of the Castle Hill, you can visit the fortifications and ramparts, or you can just wander the back streets, churches, galleries, and small restaurants all along this high point in the city of Lisbon. Perfect timing. We meet up with my little sister and we head off the Castle Hill and into the Chiado neighborhood in search of Pastel number 2. And we're getting closer to it, but with so many distractions, like there's free samples at the Christmas market stalls in the Praça de Figueira. Lots of local cured meats and cheeses and plenty of vendors ready to give you a taste. Pastel stop number 2 is at Castro. Now, high marks on presentation with the 1920s style Great Gatsby signage. Will the pastry be up to snuff though?
Not in front of the Castro sign. Okay, we got the Castro. What are we thinking, Molly? Between the two so far. Tell the difference?
This one's way better.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
What do you think?
But I had the other one when it was cold.
Ah, okay.
I think the other one was better.
Back out on the streets, we need to find our way to the Belem neighborhood, about 3 miles away. Maybe we'll take a lift. Watching that show last night. The Ascensore de Santa Justa was built in the early 20th century as a way to link the lower and upper neighborhoods in the center of the city. It's striking for its period architecture, and it's also closed for refurbishment. I guess we hoof it from here, at least until we find the train station back down by the Tagus River. So one of the things we found surprising about Lisbon is the amount of English that is spoken. I mean, by everyone we have encountered, from the back streets to the bustling plazas. Is it good or bad? I'm not really sure. And yes, there's a lot of dependence on tourism in some parts of the city, but there's also something else that could be at play historically. They deck out for Christmas here. Portugal and the United Kingdom have the oldest strategic alliance of any two countries on Earth. Dating back to the Treaty of Windsor in 1373 and signed by Richard II and King John I of Portugal, this 650-year alliance has largely held, aside from the short period in the late 16th century when King Philip II of Spain, remember who also took the Portuguese throne, launched the doomed Spanish Armada from Lisbon. This treaty was largely to provide joint military support against Spain or Castile and France. In the 1940s, Portugal straddled a tenuous neutrality during World War II, but Lisbon became a hotbed for spies and the launching point for a significant number of British clandestine operations. I think I hear that plane coming with Victor and Elsa. So just to say, there's been a long history in this city with Portuguese and English. They don't have to hide it. They can tell us the general club or anything. At the Cais de Sodre, we somehow figure out the ticketing system. For a few euros, we will save our legs on the long trek to Belem. So we are headed to the birthplace of the Pasteis de Nata, known here as the Pasteis de Belem. The root of the sweets were actually a byproduct of work done in the monastery of Geronimos. One of the services provided by the monastery was the starching of laundry, and the starch used were egg whites. So what to do with a monastery full of egg yolks that was close to a sugar refinery? You got it. Make custard. Always way up there. Put that custard in a small, easy-to-carry pastry cup, and the Pasteis de Belem was born. Now, there are over 4,000 bakeries in Portugal, and a quarter of those are here in Lisbon. And just about every one serves a version of the Pastel de Nata. But the original traces back here. Ultimately, this beautiful, if touristy set of cafes and pastry counters was developed when the monks sold the enterprise to the local sugar refinery. Hold on, I think we need a quick pit stop to try that other Portuguese specialty.
Please enjoy. This is for you.
Oh, I like that one too. I like both of them.
Oh, you like both?
Yeah.
You like these?
Oh.
Thank you.
I prefer the whites, but...
Pasteis acquired. We have a bench with a view. Let's dig in. Handy wipe?
Icing sugar.
Icing sugar.
Oh, cinnamon.
And cinnamon. All right.
Yeah,
Well,
see, they always
that's different.
they always give you cinnamon and sugar to put on top.
Okay, so now we have the originals from Pasteis de Belem. All right. Looks like Molly will be the first to try. Just a little bit. Do some cinnamon. Okay. Okay. The crunch on the originals is really, really good. And the winner is, based on our arbitrary and completely made up 3 factors of crunch, custard, and character, Alfama Doce started the day strong. Excellent scores and excellent custard, although Molly didn't get a chance to try it. Castro, very solid and a very cute little shop in the main district. How will that stack up? Well, how'd the original do? Crunch, no doubt, was the strong point of the originals. However, lost some significant points on custard, which was bland, and character because of rudeness to the girls. So, the winner today, Alfama Doce. Although the real winner is probably us, unless you're talking about our feet. Running on a sugar and fat reload, we have 2 more sites to see, and one of them is closed, or it's become the Portuguese National Scaffold Museum. Originally built in 1519, the Tower of Belem was part of the defense system of the lower Tagus River. The park and the views of the 25th of April Bridge, even with the tower closed, are worth a wander. Our last of the touristy stops is still about a half-mile away, and the feet are really starting to bark now. But we have one more key site here along the river, the Monument to the Discoveries. The Monument to the Discoveries was built in 1940, and it was made a permanent part of the Lisbon landscape in 1960 to mark the 500th anniversary of the death of Prince Henry the Navigator. You can see Henry leading the pack of Portuguese explorers holding a caravel in a vivid reminder of the significant navigational feats and world-changing conquests that launched from this small Iberian country. Our navigational feat is now to get back to the Encore. We have a train and an Uber in our future. Back on board, and while we couldn't ask for a better day in Lisbon, a little melancholy sets in. Well, and thus ends our European portion of the trip. We got 2,700 miles of ocean in front of us. But, let's see what that's like. So while we were out today, about 300 newbies came on board. So that means we get another chance to win free stuff at the spa raffle.
This I also can have you. Okay, thank you very much. And I will pick a raffle card.
Pick a raffle card.
Oh, the fine print. Only available on port days. Wait, what? It's a chilly evening as we leave the dock, but we have a double order of caviar waiting. Well, it was waiting. It's gone now. Don't really care how cold and windy it is, though. The sail out under the 25th of April bridge is not to be missed. And the orange suspension bridge, built in 1966, along with the hills and a history of shaking ground, makes me nostalgic for my native Northern California. Come on, Doobie, pull it together. As the light fades further, we can see Christ the King light up in vivid red. Now, dinner, as Clayton had promised, was flawless tonight. Well, Seabourn flawless. It was very good, and their service was excellent. And although we are now in the repeat mode for the menus, I don't really care. I'm still going for the duck. As we slip out towards the west, the Encore is now in the darkness of the North Atlantic Ocean. The crossing is underway. Good night, everybody.